Welcome to Soup for the Soul. This is KimMeWyatt. This Soup for the Soul is called Close Your D@MN Legs. Y'all, it's bad enough I'm being spied on in my freaking apartment, but when I see a 6 or 7-year-old with three older kids, actually it was a total of about 6 kids. 3 older ones, 3 younger ones, one female in the older group, 2 males. And when I say older, I'm only talking about 12, no older than freaking 13 years old. But I just looked out of I was already on my patio, excuse me, correction. And I just so happened to see these kids gathering, and they walked on a little further, about not even 10 feet. Got behind this vehicle, weren't hiding though, just moving around. And I just witnessed this no more than 6 or 7-year-old child lighting up a joint. I must warn you that although I'm trying my best to not curse, this is probably going to be the most cursing I've ever done in a Soup for the Soul. I can't do it no other way. I am so sorry. I can't. I am livid right now. I mean, I am gone to another planet. First of all, I love kids. I love kids. I even said, "How old are you?" And they totally ignored me. Totally, like I wasn't even there. Y'all, ladies, and I'm talking to Black African women right now. I am talking to Black African women. Although Hispanics, Guatemalans, Salvadorans, Hondurans, I feel got some of the baddest dang on kids on the planet. I've experienced them. Trust me. I'm not just talking. Black African women, close your damn legs. How is it that, I don't care if this is their cousin, I don't care who this is that these kids are hanging around. Where are you? Besides in the room sleeping up with some man somewhere. I cannot believe. Let me have your kids, please, because I'm going to beat the brakes off of them. Let me have them. I cannot, y'all. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. Ooh. Let me have your, ooh. Out of love, I would tear them up. I cannot, but where are you? And one of them, okay, they dismantled. I called the police, and I don't care who knows that I called the police. I sure did. And the police, of course, it don't take long to smoke a joint or do whatever you're going to do. So I had to call and cancel the call because they dismantled. One of them lives in this building, not on my floor, but on I think this young idiot lives on the 3rd floor. Dude, and I think he's one of the ones that I got into a verbal spat with. Dude, I seriously doubt if you will hear this, but your mama or someone might hear it. Give me 5 minutes with you outside. That's all I need. Whether your mother is watching or not, give me 5 minutes with you outside. I guarantee, as they say in Louisiana, that you gonna shape up and ship right, or however they shape up and ship out, or whatever the hell it is. You, baby, you guys really? Oh my God. I'm like, oh. Yeah, it hit my heart because I'm going to say it again. I love kids. I love kids, but I love disciplined kids. And I love bad kids because I know how to discipline them and get them right. Let me have your child. Please, please let me have your child. I will give him back to you, and you're going to love him. You're going to love me more than you love your child, because I'm going to take care of him. I'm going to make sure that he knows that he is not supposed to be smoking anything at 6 or 7 years old. Oh my, you guys, my mouth was literally open wide, and they're just looking at me like, what's she looking at? Really? You want some? Oh my God, all of them. Oh, and then a young lady's in the group. I couldn't tell because I came in and called the police if she smoked any. But you, I'm not gonna even call y'all parents. I'm just gonna call y'all life givers. Life givers, please close your legs. If you do not know how to take care of your child, and there's no perfect parent. There is absolutely no perfect parent. But when your child is outside and it is after 10 o'clock at night and your child can't be any more than 7 years old, where are you? Why is your child hanging around some 12 and 13-year-olds? I don't care if it's their brother, their cousin. Obviously they're not related because they all dismantled. One of them went and built in one of my building, one of them went and built at 8, and the other ones went on around the corner. Are you serious? But probably still related because of the age difference. Y'all, and these older ones looking at me like, who is supposed to know better? That just, I don't, Whoo. I've said it before. I will beat somebody down behind their own children. And that's how much I love kids. Kids, I love children, you guys. I mean, I do because I don't know what it is. And they love me. They love me. Children love me for some reason. I say it's the hair. I'm like, it must be the hair. Little babies just come up to me. They could be crying and they just come up to me, and I'm telling you, they put their arms up for me to pick them up. And then it doesn't matter where I am. It's something about me that, and likewise, I love kids, and I cannot stand a bad parent. I cannot stand a parent that's sitting there not knowing where your child is at that age. And I'm going to say it again. I don't care if the child is with a brother, sister, cousin. Where are you in the equation? Why is your child outside in these apartments at 10 o'clock at night? Now, look at here. If you want to smoke weed on your own accord. You know, I know they starts at a certain age. I'm not dumb, but 6 or 7. Oh my God, that's. And then when I asked how old are you, he just goes. He was on the side to light because the wind's kind of blowing. I'm assuming that's what he did. He was on the side of this vehicle to kind of to light this marijuana blunt or whatever you want to call it. But then he went back to the back of the vehicle with his idiot friends. Oh my God, this is just amazing. And I mean, he's lighting it like a professional. I mean, like, I've seen people light cigarettes. I don't hang around people that smoke weed, but I've seen people light cigarettes. And this dude was lighting this blunt. I don't even like saying the name, to be honest with you, because I don't condone it. He's lighting this blunt like a pro. Y'all, the world, I'm telling you, the world is, I don't even know what to say now. I really literally don't even know what to say. I just, the rest of my night is shattered. And like I said, I don't condone anyone smoking weed because I don't smoke it myself. And for those, I'm outside, you guys, so please forget the noise. For those who saying that it's recreational and it helps this and that, okay, whatever. No comment. I feel some people will break their back so they'll have an excuse to smoke some weed. But they're adults, regardless of how you may feel about weed smoking or not. These people are adults. You may not like it. I can't stand the smell, but they're still adults. When you have a child smoking some weed, and I know a lot of these idiot mothers are haters, and they're on my page. I hope you listen to this. You suck y'all. I'm gonna say y'all. You suck as parents, because if the child is not smoking weed, as I can see, and let me back up. I had heard that I just had a conversation last week with some of the ladies in the other breezeway about this little child smoking weed. But I let them know that I had heard from my guy friend when he came over looking for me that probably these same kids were on the sidewalk gambling. I'm like, what? And so when we came back to my apartment, I said, were they right here in front of my apartment? No, they were right there. And I was like, oh we. And just like a mother, I know times are hard. And if you have 5 kids, it's my mother has 5 kids. Okay, so I know times are hard. Anytime when you have 5 kids, and you're a single parent. But if you guys, I had to call the police. I had to on a parent. In the building 8 is the building from hell. I had to call on a parent, and I let her know when the police were here that and she mean mugged me. I don't care, because you guys of how hard she was beating her child. You guys, I'm telling you, you could hear the licks. Way where 2 other women and myself and another one came and joined us that I talked to and frequently. We could hear these licks outside, way across on my side, diagonal, not even right across. I'm like, oh my God, no. And she beat the child because the child was supposed to be watching a younger child. This child he's 12 years old. Make a long story short, lady was walking around the perimeter. Every time she came around, she would speak and say something or whatever. So on one of her laps, she said, does anybody know who this little boy belongs to? And I'm like, no, but I knew the lady across from me, literally on the first floor or second floor, has a lot of kids, and that they, and I knew this from the lady below her, but she's moved and they make a lot of noise. I experienced it while over there visiting this lady who has since moved. And so, but I would see these kids outside, or I see them sporadically outside by themselves, but not for a long time. I see her with them and they're running and to go to the vehicle or whatever. I see them, but I've never focused on their face to see if he belonged to her. But I assumed he did because he's around on the side of the building and she lives on that side. The side of her apartment is on that side. So I said, I don't know, but there's a lady up, over up there that has 5 kids, and they do play around, sometimes come around that corner. And there's another lady that came and joined in with her, saying, who's little boy? Y'all know who this little boy is? So I said, okay, let me go ask. And because I didn't want the lady to get in trouble, whomever it was. So I went and knocked on the door, but I went to the 3rd floor by mistake instead of the 2nd floor. And when they heard me knocking on the door, then the people next door to that door came outside and had this look of like, that ain't, in other words, that ain't nothing new. This lady in other words, and pointed downstairs. I said, oh, I'm on the wrong floor, and they had this look of that's normal. And so in the meantime, the second lady that questioned who the little boy belonged to was coming upstairs with the little boy. And I said, I said, ma'am. She opened the door. I said, do you have a little boy? Is this your little boy? And while she's answering the door or whatever and coming out, the lady is bringing a little boy up, 2nd floor. So they're right there. She said, yeah, he was supposed to be outside with his cousins, and they 12 years old and everything, blah, 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 blah. And we're looking at her like, okay, you need to be glad you got him, and, done deal. But she gave him this look like he could even talk. This little boy was like 2 years old, couldn't talk. And so, because we kept asking him, where did he live? And, some little 2-year-olds can at least understand some words and point or whatever, but he couldn't or didn't. So she got him, and then all of a sudden I see this little 7-8-year-old whatever run around the corner and go upstairs to the apartment. Next thing we know, these licks, you guys, I mean, they were so freaking loud. I mean, loud, 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 over the top loud. And then she went in on him again. You guys, the second time I was like, I'm calling. I was gonna call on the first one, but they stopped. I said, no, 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 no. I'm not fixing to sit here and, well, even though I was standing, I'm not fixing to sit here and let this lady hit on that baby like that, and she should have been out with her kids. Ladies, let me tell you guys something. Ladies, I said guys, but I'm talking to you. Close your damn legs. If you know in your heart you smoke weed, you use in your 20s and you blah, 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 blah. Every man is not in love with you. And every man you meet is not supposed to be your dude. Or that dude that you're supposed to be with for the rest of your life. So close your legs up or go get some type of contraception. Okay? If you're going to be having sex, because this is the result of kids basically having kids. I don't care if you're in your 20s or not. If your mindset is that of a child and you haven't really grown yet mentally, you don't need to have any children. You really don't. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't care if your kids are 5, 7, 9, put them in foster care. And even that's sad because you can't trust the foster care system itself. The people, their hands that they're putting the kids in. But adopt. Let someone adopt your child. And you meet up with them later on in life and just guarantee that, make sure that within the contract that you have the rights to see the child, because you love them. You just can't take care of them. There's a difference between loving a child and taking care of the child and not loving a child and giving it away. A lot of people give their kids away because they just don't want to deal with them. And that's not love. But if you love your child and you want them to have the best, better than what you can give them, give your freaking children away to someone and that's going to take care of them. And as much as it may hurt you, because it's ridiculous to see these parents, or these life givers doing this to kids. Or having their kids going around smoking weed. I don't even know what to say, you guys. I really don't. I really, truly don't. My neighbors above me smoke weed and I can't stand it. And although they don't smoke as much as they used to, I don't know what's going on with that. Don't care. But I smell some today, but they're grown. You know what I'm saying? That's my choice that I don't want to smoke it. It's their choice. They do. I can't control them. They can't control me, although they try because they spy. But that's a whole nother story. Another is a word. But as far as their weed smoking, I can't stop them from smoking weed. It stinks. It stinks in me or whatever. But that's their business. You don't want to smell it? Go somewhere for a couple of minutes and wait till they get through, or spray in your apartment, turn some incense, put some incense in there, or whatever you have to do. I have oil burners. I sell them and I make my own oil, so it's no problem. But you guys, they're grown and there's a difference. And I know this parent has got to smell that weed on that child when they come in. Y'all, oh my God, Jesus of Nazareth. That's this. Whoo! But guess what? Someone scolds them. Guess who they're gonna fuss at? Guess who she's gonna holler at? Whomever she is. And I'm gonna be honest with you. The grandmother could be raising them. Let me stop pointing the finger at the mother, because I really don't know who's raising the child. But I do know this: if the mother is around, she's a bad one. The life giver. And she is, and these kids are a product of her. Whatever your children are doing in life is a product of how they were raised, basically, in most cases. That is the result of how they were raised. And I'm talking even as an adult. How you raise them is how they're going to act in most cases. And I can just, and I can guarantee you, this child, oh my God, this child is mom, whomever is raising him is the pits. And I know she's one of the ones that go around, get your MF, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. Black African women, there are some wonderful parents, so I'm not talking to you guys. There are some wonderful parents who take care of their kids, and they may get angry every blue moon, and angry is normal, but they know how to back away, and they still know how to treat their kids like a human being. They may discipline them, and I am down for discipline. I don't care who gets mad at me. I think a child should be disciplined. I was disciplined. It's in the Bible. Spare the rod, spoil the child, and it just is what it is with me. But every child does not need to be disciplined for every single act that they do or don't do. Let me say that as well. And there's a difference in discipline and abuse. My son he's still light. My son is extremely light skinned, and even lighter when he was a child. So of course, when he would get spankings or whatever, or get a whooping, you would swear up and down that he got abused because of his, and I'm talking just a whooping, regular old whooping. And of course, I never kept him from his dad. And so, except for one time, he came to get him, and it was which I want to keep private. I'm not going to divulge that, even though his dad is deceased. It's nothing big, but I'm just, that's not what this is about. But I'm telling you, other than that, he can get him whenever he wanted. He can just call and get him, and he loved him, his only child. He loved him to death. And that particular incident, he cried because he could not get him, and even though deceased, he knew why he couldn't get him. But nothing bad, no drugs. Neither one of us were on drugs, and he didn't even drink at all, period. So, and I drink sociably. So it had nothing to, don't read too far into that, put it that way. But I'm telling you, I don't even know what I was saying, but me as a mother and he as a father, I didn't have to worry about my son. They have two different dads. I didn't have to worry about my kids have two different fathers. I didn't have to worry about them because I knew how to pick a father. I didn't just go and I say, hey, I'm about to get pregnant by this dude. No, it didn't end up like that. What I'm saying is I knew how to do what I wanted in a relationship. And if something were to occur, then not on purpose, then so be it, and that's what happened. And so, I chose two good fathers, two excellent fathers over the top. And I hate to say I chose two excellent fathers. I chose two excellent men. And even though they chose me first, I reciprocated it. And that's how it's supposed to work. But yeah, these parents these days are, I don't even know what to say. I feel sorry for the kids. I really do. Oh, I really do. It's like, if I knew where this little dude lived, I would be knocking on the door in the morning. This is a little too late, but I would knock on the door and I would tell whomever opened that door, I'm not trying to get in your business, but do you know this little boy smokes weed? And sadly, you don't know what result you would get from that. I know he smokes weed. Say, who are you to me coming over there? Oh, I would just turn around and walk off. Yeah, I didn't think that figures. I see where he gets it from. Great job. So this is Kimmy Wyatt. I am sorry for, I could have gone in worse than I did, but this was just an on the spot soup for the soul, and I had already been getting on parents and stating that I would be talking about a lot of things with the soup for the souls, and parenting is one of them. Like I said, there's no perfect parent, but there are if you're making imperfect decisions, you're definitely not a perfect parent. Imperfect parenting comes from making imperfect decisions, and your child should not be hanging around I mean, if that's a brother or sister, yeah, they should be hanging around them. But what is going on? And the 12-year-old shouldn't have even been smoking. There's both of them smoking like choo-choo trains. And then one of them lives in this building. And now that I didn't know that for sure if either of them lived in this building, but they were right here. So he lives up on the third floor. The ones that hollers down and talks noise and says all kind of stuff. You know, I'm like, this. Let me tell y'all something. And this is true. This is why Black African people should never hire their family in a business that they have unless that business was passed down and they knew. I mean, there was some serious talking about how to handle business. I have friends who, while I was in high school, and this business is still lucrative, and their family had businesses. Okay, you guys. Even though that's not what this is not what the super for the soul is about. This is the reason why you can't hire your family members in most cases, Black African people, in a business, because they're going to go smoking weed in the back. The customers are going to come in and they're going to smell weed. You told them, y'all, hey, I'm going out of town to go find some new suppliers. I'm going to China or whatever for the first time. I'm excited. I gotta go. I gotta get on this plane. I'm afraid to get on the plane. I'm more afraid to get on the plane and going to China, than being in China. But I gotta go. Regardless of the situation, you left your business in the hands of your little nephew or cousin or whatever, even though they're in their 20s. But they smoke weed. Major mistake. Weed smokers most times don't know when it's time to smoke weed. There's a time to smoke weed and there's a time not to smoke weed. Okay, that's just my opinion. And you on the job and you're taking advantage of the fact that this is your cousin's business and you're in the back and the customers are coming and smelling weed. They're gone. You've lost your customers. That was the flip side of what I was about to say. What I was about to say is supposedly some of the staff members, the manager here and the previous manager who is now regional, has family members over here. This is why I would never, if I were a manager or something, I would never recommend my family come over to reside where I work, because your family are going to be the worst tenants that you're going to have. They're going to think they can say things to people that they shouldn't be saying, that they can do things that they shouldn't be doing. As soon as you report who it is, you're going to let it go. If you're not a strong person, instead of putting them out, they need a roof over their head. If it was anyone else, they get put out. You need to do this, and you won't do that and do that because they're your relative. And even if I heard someone's mother lives over here or something, okay, who comes to visit that mother? And I'm not saying this is who this is. I'm just saying you can kind of tell, as even with the business, when that person is related to the owner. In this case, management. Not in this case, but I'm just saying in this example, you can tell when someone is related to, in most cases, or in some kind of lineage, some kind of way related to a manager or something like that. Even if it's your mother's, even if it's your sister's child that your mother might be keeping, you can tell, because those are the ones that cause all the trouble. And then when they get into it with someone, it had to have been you. It had to have been the person they were getting into it. I didn't do anything like that. In other words, in a nutshell, your family is going to take advantage of the situation and do things. And I am not saying this was anyone's family members, but I can tell these kids, some of them, I'm like, you got to be related to someone in the office some kind of way. And there's a lot of people over here related and or just know each other. But most of them are related, literally. Like running from one building to the next or walking from one building to the next continuously, especially the kids, the teenagers and stuff. They're related. Not because and I no, these are not friends in school. These, I know for a fact, they're related. I'm not just saying it. And it's like, wow. And ironically, different group of people, Guatemalans, Salvadorians, Hondurans, Mexicans, where I moved from. That whole complex was basically related. And you can tell when people are related because they have that same kind of persona, that same stupidity in these cases, that same kind of personality, rather, instead of, well, persona, personality. They do the same thing, act the same way, yada, 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 yada. You can tell. And that's why I call them food stamp babies. Stay with me, you guys, and listen to my other Soup for the Souls. All of them are on YouTube. Go to my YouTube channel and join the YouTube channel because you can hear it in my voice. This is frustrating. I don't even, I keep saying I don't know what to say, although I've said over 20 minutes of stuff, but I'm appalled. I really truly am appalled. So this is Kimmy Wyatt. Ladies, close your legs. Please don't have any more kids. Do not procreate any more. You have already done some of the kids on the planet an injustice by letting some man have sex with you and you get pregnant. And I'm going to say at this point, I commend any woman who is in her 20s and does not have any kids. I do. I have to. Let me go. I had to clap. I had to put the phone on my shoulder and in between my neck, on my neck, and in between my head and my shoulder, so I can release my hand to clap. And I just met a young lady, pool monitor. She was telling me she doesn't want any kids. She said, she said, now if someone comes along and he wants kids, she said, I'm not going to be in a relationship with someone and he wants kids and I don't. You know, if he wants kids, then it's okay. I'll have kids. But no, I don't want any kids. In other words, I don't want any kids by myself. Even though who's to say if that relationship's going to work out if you are with someone, but I'm just saying, close your legs. Please close your legs. You can't change what's already happened, but you sure can change the future. Do not have any more kids. Close your legs, because if you can't take care of one, you can't take care of two. You definitely can't take care of three. Then it's childbearing overload. It's just too much. And some of you don't have your head on straight and you think it's on straight because you grown and you past 18. And no. It takes a lot. It takes more than you being over 18 to take care of a child. And yet I've met some parents, however, some young ladies, just met one in the line the other day. Beautiful child in a buggy and just as calm and laughing. And she looked at me, she just kept laughing. And like I said, babies love me. And I was checking out because I'm behind this young lady in the line, and I was asking about the baby and how old she was and everything. Say she's one, and she said she's one and everything. I can just thinking of this now. Thinking back on that conversation and her demeanor. She was a young lady, I could tell, but I could tell also that she took care of her child. So it's not all teenagers, older teenagers and people, young ladies in their 20s and 30s. You know, it's some ignorant 30-year-old parents. I mean, just my mom would say ignorant as a stale bottle of piss, you know. Don't ask. I just roll with it. I don't know. A stale bottle of piss. Okay. And but but I can feel her now, you know, my mom and stuff that she used to say, because I'm seeing it, you know, some of the stuff that, you know, and even though his life was a little different, some of the little quotes, rather, things she would say, what goes around comes around. You know, what makes you laugh will make you cry, all that kind of stuff. You know, I'm seeing it and I've been saying it myself. It will, you know, you ladies, before I go, you're just asking for it. That child's going to grow up, and when that child ends up in prison, ends up somewhere, you know, think about your parenting skills, you know, because you didn't have any. This is Kimmy Wyatt. Hasta la vista. Buenos Aires. Buenas noches. Arrivederci. Au revoir. Salida. Don't let the doorknob hit you where the good Lord split you. Wow. Ciao Bella, Ciao Bello, smooches. Oh, before I go, please join my Google Plus page. Go to plus.com, rather, plus, let me start over, plus.google.com/+sign, as in minus plus sign, Kimmy Wyatt, KimMeWyatt. And you can join that page, click follow, refresh your page if you're on a laptop or desktop by pressing F5 or pressing the refresh button in the browser. And if the number goes up from what it was when you first looked, then chances are that was you. And so you're going to be following the page. I have 33 collections, however, on that page. You can actually follow the collection. So if you see a collection there that interests you, only 4 of them are represented, though. You have to go above those 4 and in the right corner, right at the text that says view all, and click view all, and then all of them will show up. There's 33. You can click either of those. You don't even have to open up the page. It'll just say follow right there on every last one of them. And what that does is following the page gives you some of the posts of my post in your feed. But when you follow the collection, and most of my stuff, all of my stuff is collected except for public posts. A quote that's not mine, but I like it. Something like that will be a public post, and there's not a public post, collection. You know what? I just thought about something. I guess I could create a public collection and put the public posts in it. No, I don't think anyone's doing that, but public is just public. A generic post or generic post, they're not anywhere in the collection, and making collections is optional. You don't have to have collections on your page. But I have 33. Join, like White Folk Wednesday, where I post songs by white people. Let's see, I've got jazz. If you're a jazz enthusiast, I have Jazz Groove Cafe. I've got a lot of collections about food, MLM and MLD dieting, because I like to help people and can help people diet. Let's see, just some of everything. So follow the page, and then follow any collection that you're interested in. Okay. All right. Bye.